MTA moves past the first decade.
Transportation is the key to the gateway cities.
For the commuter, the MTA Red Line has been a breath of fresh air.
It's hard to tell just by looking at this trench and these rail lines just how important the economic impact of this corridor is to the city of Los Angeles and the nation as well.
At the bike station, not only can you park your bike, but you can also rent one of many bikes, including this electric bike.
These stories and more coming up. I'm Kina Chin.
And I'm Mark Istok. Welcome to Metro Motion.
Trains, buses, carpool lanes, streets, highways, pedestrian improvements, and bikeways. There's a lot more to the Metropolitan Transportation Authority than meets the eye. Find out what your MTA is doing to keep LA County moving on Metro Motion.
The MTA celebrates its 10th anniversary in April. Over the years, the MTA has made many improvements to public transportation throughout LA County. One of the MTA's most significant projects is also celebrating a birthday. Valerie Bickford has more.
If you build it, they will come, and they did, which is why the MTA is proudly celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Metro Red Line, LA County's first heavy rail subway. For nearly a decade, the Metro Red Line has become a powerful central source of transportation from Union Station. Riders from the Metrolink, Amtrak, and all buses converge upon the subway daily. With an estimated 135,000 boardings each day, the MTA considers the Metro Red Line project a success.
Now, you'd think that the birth of the MTA Red Line was an easy one. Nope, they had opposition.
10 years ago, they said nobody would ride it. This is Los Angeles. Los Angeles is about cars. No one's interested in rail. That has been silenced forever.
Looking around, it's easy to see how the opponents of the Metro Red Line didn't quite have their fingers on the pulse of the people. For the commuter, the MTA Red Line has been a breath of fresh air.
It's a stress-free environment.
Well, it's faster.
And I just really enjoy getting to work with a clear mind.
It took me about 2.5 hours to get to work every day. But since I've been riding the train, it cut down to like an hour and about 40 minutes. Without it, I wouldn't get to work on time.
In 1993, the Metro Red Line began with 4.4 miles of track from Union to Westlake MacArthur Park, and by 2000 expanded to 17.4 miles between Hollywood Highland and North Hollywood. Many believe the addition of the Metro Red Line benefits all of Los Angeles County. It reduces congestion on the highway and improves the quality of life in many communities.
I think I also love about it how it's changed the face of the city. I love how there was development at the stations. I think my favorite is Hollywood and Western. Western Avenue was a pretty gamey street with lots of drug and prostitution and those sort of issues. It was considered scary. Today it's kind of a charming middle-class neighborhood. There's a giant supermarket, there's housing of all levels, there's more low income and high income housing coming in, and it's just wonderful. It's a vibrant, interesting neighborhood, and people take the train there to go to work.
Today, the MTA continues to explore ways to alleviate the need for residents to rely on their vehicles for at least some of their trips. They are gearing up to accommodate a population that is projected to grow from 10 million to 13 million people by 2025. But for now, they are celebrating the success of the Metro Red Line and its many satisfied riders.
Happy anniversary, MTA. I hope you guys have a long and prosperous journey.
For Metro Motion, I'm Valerie Bickford.
The emphasis is on safety when it comes to the MTA's rail lines. That's why a special type of gate is being installed at 10 more crossings on the Metro Blue Line and 90% of the gated crossings on the Metro Gold Line. The quad gates offer twice the protection of traditional crossings that have one arm on the right side of the road. That open left side often tempts some drivers to go around those arms, sometimes with tragic results. The 4 quad crossing gates have 4 arms, and those arms block all of the lanes. There were 8 serious accidents and 3 deaths at the Blue Line's 124th Street crossing in Willowbrook before the MTA installed a 4 quad in 1998. There have been no accidents since then. Now, it sounds simple, but quad gates are really very high tech. Buried beneath the crossing is a special coil that can sense where a vehicle is as the gates are closing. It can either raise the arm or keep it from falling to let the vehicle get through. Also, if there's a power failure, the quad gate entrance and exit arms will be set to keep cars off the tracks while allowing vehicles still on the tracks to exit. There will be quad gates at 10 more crossings along the Metro Blue Line built over the next several years.
What has two wheels is powered by electricity and will keep security people zipping along. They're called segways, and they're being incorporated into daily patrols at various locations. MTA Security will use two segways and hopes to see how they can enhance the foot patrols and other security on various rail lines. It takes a couple of lessons to get your balance, but after a few spins around the block, riding a segway is easy. It can be fast, too. Pick your speed with 3 keys. Black is for beginners at about 6 miles per hour. Red kicks it up a notch, and the yellow speed is a little over 12 miles per hour. It only takes a weight shift to move backward or forward. It can also turn in one place. The Easy Transit Pass is getting even easier. Glendale B-Line and Torrance Max are now in the program, so the pass is now honored by 14 transit providers. Sales of the pass are up to $10,000 a month, and bus operators say the response is even better than had been expected. The pass allows riders who regularly use 2 or more of the participating bus and rail systems with a common currency that will simplify their commutes. The pass had discounts for seniors and the disabled. It doesn't replace the individual transit operator passes, which are still available. The MTA is talking with other transit providers to ask for their participation in the future.
The Alameda Corridor is delivering the goods. In the year since it opened, the project has helped move tons of cargo from the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach to the rail yards near downtown LA and then to the rest of the country.
It's worked much better than was anticipated. We expected big things from it to begin with. But I think as we see that it's actually in operation, that it's really facilitated a great many things. First of all, the movement of the freight is much easier for the shippers to bring things out of the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. But then the really nice impact from our perspective is there are about 200 intersections now that aren't clogged up every day, where traffic can flow very freely through and not have to sit there and wait for big long freight trains to go through. So the overall concept has been just a super good idea. It worked really well because of the cooperation between the railroads and the ports and the federal government and the state government and MTA. And so it's really been an overall very positive thing. It's been something that I think has made a huge difference, not only to the Los Angeles area, but to the country.
The 20-mile railroad expressway eliminates 200 crossings, and that means less congestion and noise pollution. It also speeds cargo through the MTA Gateway Cities region of Vernon, Huntington Park, Southgate, Linwood, Compton, Carson, and LA City and County. And the future looks bright. Companies are moving into the port or expanding their operations since it is easier and more cost-efficient to load trains from the docks.
The MTA does a spectacular job of helping people get around Los Angeles every day. And for most of us, our view of the MTA stops at the buses we see on city streets. But in a city like LA, where 25% of America's shipped goods enter the country, just like people, those goods have to move also. And that's where the MTA comes in. By moving this material, the MTA keeps us going in more ways than one. My colleague Mark Istuk found out how it works.
Every day, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of goods pour into the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, the busiest in the U.S. From there, those goods move onto America's freeways and into stores around the country. It's a daily machine that keeps America's economy moving. And for the past year, it's a machine that's run more efficiently because of the Alameda Corridor. Now, the corridor is the first of its kind, a 20-mile-long railroad line running from LA's ports to the railroad network near downtown Los Angeles. This public and private venture has reduced pollution and traffic on city streets while greatly speeding up rail traffic between downtown and the ports. And since opening last April, it's been an unquestionable success.
It's a tremendous win for the trucks and automobiles on the street, for the local communities that are along the corridor. It's a huge win for the railroads in reduced expense for fuel. It's reduced noise pollution, and it's also reduced pollution from the locomotives and automobiles.
You can see the success of it. It started right from the beginning
the conflicts with the train along those 200 intersections immediately cleared up. The speed of the trains going through immediately more than doubled. And the revenue generation of the trains has been very strong. And I think just about any measure you can use, the Alameda Corridor project is a huge success.
The Alameda Corridor took train lines that ran through neighborhoods and across city streets and hid most of them so you don't even notice they're around. Sitting with a beautiful view of downtown Los Angeles behind an unassuming chain link fence, we've got the heart of the Alameda Corridor. Now, it's hard to tell just by looking at this trench and these rail lines just how important the economic impact of this corridor is to the city of Los Angeles and the nation as well.
Almost a third of the container traffic that comes into the United States comes in through the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. And we can show, and studies have been done to show that that freight makes its way all the way through the United States. It gets to Florida, it gets to Maine, a lot of it goes into Chicago, into the North Texas area.
I don't think a lot of people realize day in, day out where the goods and services, where they come from to get on the stores at Walmart, Kmart, and Target. They are coming in great waves through the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. And they're coming in great waves up the Alameda Corridor.
Increased speed and higher volume are two of the biggest benefits of the corridor. Basically, rail companies can get more goods to and from the ports much quicker than ever before.
On the old harbor subdivision, the Burlington North Santa Fe Harbor subdivision, we now can operate over that same distance in about 30 minutes, what used to take us sometimes 2 to 4 hours.
With the Alameda Corridor and projects like it, the MTA is working toward a goal of manageable traffic in Los Angeles. Now, most people see an MTA logo and think only of the buses on our city streets. But MTA CEO Roger Schnobel says that transportation involves moving people and goods across Los Angeles and across America, too.
We get involved in bicycle planning, we get involved with the HOV lanes. Now, we're even responsible for the highway assist patrol that gets out there and helps people on the highway, and call boxes. We're looking at every aspect of transportation, trying to facilitate the movement of goods and services and people throughout the region every day. So that's just our job.
Los Angeles is not getting any smaller, and freight traffic will continue to grow. But with the addition of the Alameda Corridor, it's easy to see how the MTA and other agencies are working to ease the traffic burden in LA. Now, the corridor has eliminated 200 street-level railroad crossings, always a safety hazard. It's also cut train emissions by 28% and noise pollution by 90%. Transit time between the ports and downtown dropped from nearly 3 hours to about 30 minutes. And with $104 billion of cargo moving through the port in 2001 alone, the project not only impacts the U.S. economy, but also should pay for itself ahead of time. So, only a year into its existence, the Alameda Corridor has been a resounding success, with the citizens of Los Angeles, local shippers, and the national economy all benefiting from this one-of-a-kind project.
The Alameda Corridor really represents a huge leap in the U.S. economy's ability to compete worldwide.
And so it's really been an overall very positive thing. It's been something that I think has made a huge difference, not only to the Los Angeles area, but to the country.
Experts say the $157 billion worth of cargo that enters San Pedro ports each year will double by 2020, making the Alameda Corridor and the goods it helps move that much more important. Just ahead, the new Metro Rapid rolls.
And we will introduce you to the gateway cities.
Got a question about Metro Rail or Metro bus service, fares or schedules? How about the services of the other 45 bus and rail carriers in LA County? Call 1-800-COMMUTE and speak to an MTA customer information agent. They're available weekdays 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., weekends 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need information about carpooling, van pooling, or bikeways? You'll find that too at 1-800-COMMUTE.
There's going to be more rapid growth for Metro Rapid. The program's newest service began running in December on Vermont Avenue and South Broadway. The Vermont Retro Rapid Line 754 runs in nearly 12 miles on Vermont from the Red Line station to the Green Line. The South Broadway Metro Rapid Line 745 runs more than 10 miles from Union Station to the Green Line. These new lines are added to the Wilshire, Whittier, and Ventura Metro Rapid lines. Since those services began nearly 3 years ago, ridership is up nearly 40%. First-time public transit riders make up a big part of that increase. The Vermont and South Broadway service is all part of a planned 24-line expansion of the system expected to take place over the next 5 years.
The increase in riders shows Metro Rapid is a good idea, and now Harvard University thinks so too. The MTA's Metro Rapid bus program has been recognized as an outstanding example of creative problem solving in the government sector, and it's been selected as a semifinalist in Harvard's Innovations in American Government Awards. One of Metro Rapid's main features is the bus signal priority system that makes the green lights longer and the red lights shorter and helps buses speed along. Programs are judged on creativity, significance, and how well they get the job done.
One's big, one's little, and pretty soon there'll be one really big Santa Monica Boulevard. Groundbreaking for the Santa Monica Boulevard Transit Parkway project was in January. It's being billed as the largest street improvement project in the history of the city. 2.5 miles of roadway will be reconstructed to be not only beautiful but functional. 3 eastbound and westbound lanes will improve traffic between the 405 freeway and Beverly Hills. Most of the construction is being done during the day, Monday through Friday. There will be access to nearby businesses and neighborhoods throughout the 5-phase process.
It's an important link in our freeway system, but part of the 110 Harbor Transit Way is also a first for LA. It's the 2.5-mile elevated segment of the Harbor Transit Way that soars 50 feet above the 110 freeway. The 2 HOV lanes at Slauson have the highest peak hour usage, more than 3,300 vehicles. The Transitway runs nearly 20 miles from San Pedro to downtown LA. From Pacific Coast Highway to Adams Boulevard, the Transitway serves 8 transit bus stations.
Up and over, that's what the Imperial Highway overpass is designed to do. The 2,000-foot-long bridge will take Imperial Highway traffic over Wilmington Avenue and the Blue Line and Union Pacific tracks. Supervisor Yvonne Brathwaite-Burke was among the dignitaries attending the ribbon-cutting ceremony.
This is indeed a marvel. I mean, when you look at this, it's an engineering example that many people will look at and say, can this really be done? But it's so important because the MTA believes safety must be accomplished.
The project had several challenges to overcome: acquiring the right-of-way, moving utilities, installing giant precast girders at night, and providing easy access to Martin Luther King Drew Medical Center.
Traffic congestion in Southern California is more than annoying. If people and goods can't keep moving, our quality of life and our economy are impacted. LA County recently held its first ever transportation summit called Mobility 21, LA County Moving Together. Elected officials, business, labor, community leaders, and transportation providers all came together to help develop solutions to LA County's transportation issues. One key to success, the public and private sectors working together. And everyone at the summit agreed that the most pressing need is to increase the amount of transportation funding and make sure LA County gets a piece of it.
Their slogan is leading the way. The MTA's Gateway City sector includes 26 cities split into 2 divisions, encompassing Southeast LA. They include Santa Fe Springs, Norwalk, and Downey. The sector stretches all the way to Catalina and the city of Avalon.
Basically, we're comprised of 26 cities in the southeast portion of Los Angeles County, along with unincorporated parts of LA County. So we have a pretty large area. We operate from the ocean to the through the city of Whittier, downtown Los Angeles to the Orange County borderline. So not only do we have to coordinate with all the different cities and the municipal operators, we also have a coordinated partnership with OCTA down in Orange County.
The Gateway Cities is one of the 5 MTA sectors. The sectors serve a smaller area so they can be more efficient and responsive to their customers.
We've actually established town hall meetings in each of the cities, in the Gateway Cities, as well as the public hearing. So we're making it much more convenient for the residents and for the riders to share their feedback and their input on ways in which we can improve. So they feel as though that we're open and receptive to their ideas.
And is that making a difference here?
So far, we believe that it is. I think it's a little early to tell specifically. Some of the things that we trend is the number of customer complaints and the ridership growth. Because we also want to not only improve the level of service for our current riders, but we want to start attracting more discretionary riders. So the early preliminary results show that the focus on continuous improvement has paid dividends because our complaints are starting to drop.
And the new Gateway Cities Governance Council will help MTA understand customer needs now and in the future.
Chances are, at one time or another, you've been stuck on a Southern California freeway thinking, there's got to be a better way. Well, in Long Beach, reporter Suzanne Freeman discovered there is a better way, a coordinated transportation system that connects the pedal to the metal.
The colorful bike station building is hard to miss in downtown Long Beach's Transit Mall. But unless you look closely, you may miss some of what the bike station has to offer. In April of 2002, the Long Beach Bike Station became part of the City Wheels program, connecting conventional transportation to environment-friendly choices.
Bike station is a public facility. It's for absolutely anyone that wants to save money by leaving their car at home, or perhaps coming to the facility and walking to work here in downtown Long Beach.
Bike Station offers many services, including bicycle repair, something that comes in handy for busy commuters.
It's a place to put your bike and get it worked on during the day too. So it's like a service station for bikes, and you got them for cars, you just don't have that many for bikes.
The most popular service at Bike Station, though, is the free bicycle parking. You just swipe a membership card on a pad and off your bike goes to safe storage until you return.
At the bike station, not only can you park your bike, but you can also rent one of multiple bikes, including this electric bike, which you can use to explore Long Beach's many attractions, or stick close and go to the farmer's market.
All right, the farmer's market might be a bit busy for bicycle riding. A better place might be the miles of bike paths along area beaches. Those paths are just a short distance from the downtown Transit Mall, and with everything from beach cruisers to mountain bikes to those electric scooters for rent, you've got a lot of choices for exploring Long Beach. Another choice for exploring or just getting to an appointment across town is FlexCar. For just $9 or $10 an hour, you can rent an electric or gas-electric hybrid car at any of 5 FlexCar stations in Los Angeles County, including the one at the Long Beach Bike Station. So getting around town without even owning a car is now a reality, something that saves you money and saves the environment as well.
There's so many advantages for Los Angeles County to really take a serious look at reducing traffic and congestion, certainly doing the effort to clean up our air and reduce vehicle emissions.
Reporting for Metro Motion, I'm Suzanne Freeman.
California now has 3 bike station facilities, and more are planned in other parts of the country. For more information on Bike Station, City Wheels, and FlexCar, including how to become a member, simply log on to bikestation.org.
Just ahead, a visit with MTA Director Beatrice Pro.
Getting around LA on the Metro Rail and Metro bus systems is easy with MTA's Metro Trip Planner. You'll find it on MTA's website at mta.net. Click on Metro Transit, then Metro Trip Planner, and you're ready to go. First, enter your starting and ending points. Second, enter your travel times. Third, choose your fare type. It's the Metro Trip Planner at www.mta.net.
We've introduced you to the Gateway Cities sector, and now we'll introduce you to MTA Director and Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Pico Rivera, Beatrice Pro. And thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate your time. Now, you represent the Gateway Cities on the board. What can you tell us about this region?
Oh, this particular region is particularly interesting because it represents 27 cities from starting inland from the city of Pico Rivera and Whittier, and it goes down basically around the Long Beach Freeway and 605 Freeway down to Long Beach. And it's somewhat of a manufacturing area, traditionally so, and consequently we have a lot of transportation going on there. That's why my interest in MTA.
That's right. Well, I know that the 710 freeway is a very busy one, and that one plays a large role in your area as well. What can you tell us about the significance of that freeway in particular?
Actually, that freeway not only is significant for our county, but across the whole United States, because it starts with the port of Long Beach, which of course you know is being very busy these days, and it's transporting a lot of cargo and people at the same time. And that's one of the challenges, because we have to balance things in our region, and that is transportation not only of goods but of people, and because we're talking about the economy and we're talking about jobs at the same time. And that's why I was telling you that it's significant to the whole United States, because goods come up through that corridor. And we have found out that it affects jobs all the way across the nation, even to Maine. And right now, that's very important to our United States, what's happening with jobs in the economy.
That's right, and it's easy to think of transportation as only affecting people. It involves a lot of goods, too. One thing that I've heard you talk about before is the importance of the 5 freeway between Orange County and Los Angeles. You know, it's a congested freeway at times. Are there any plans on widening that freeway between Orange and LA?
Yes, that's been a constant goal because of the fact if you've traveled it yourself, you know, coming in from Orange County, you're going very quickly, and then all of a sudden you come to this bubble, as we call it, and the bubble tightens at that point. And there are a number of cities along that corridor that have a double interest in it because it's affecting their economy too if we do cut through there right away. So it's been a challenge as to how many lanes we can widen it because it affects the economy of those cities, but at the same time we're looking regionally at things. And that's the way I look at transportation across a region and globally, and balancing things, both, as I said, goods and people, and it's all reliant on what happens with money.
That's right. Money is a big part of it, and one source of a lot of that money are the manufacturing plants and also the trade that you see in Long Beach and in the ports. Obviously, a lot of people get their goods from those ports, and it's really important to see how those two areas interact, the manufacturing and the shipping. What can you tell us about how important it is to have transportation for those items?
Oh, yes. That's what the constant, this is where I wear several hats. One is I have to represent my corridor, and my corridor, as I said, is dealing with those issues a great deal. But at the same time, I have to look at the whole of LA County and balance everything that are the needs across there. These days of limited funding has caused a little bit of a challenge. So we're looking at those projects as how we can accomplish them a bite at a time. Since we can't do it in one major motion, we'd like to try to see if we keep chipping at it till we get it accomplished. And as you know, we've had some efforts made with the Alameda Corridor, but that's only part of the issue. It's what's happening with our infrastructure and what's happening with those cities that are affected by what happens when people go off those freeways.
Well, I get the impression that it's in all of our best interests to support the movement of those goods, because when you take some of those goods, like in the Alameda Corridor, for instance, if you take some of those goods off the roads, then you open up another space for a few cars, and it kind of helps everybody move along. How important is that in the future as we try to deal with the congestion on these freeways?
Oh yes, balance. That's all I can say is balance. How can we make sure that you get the things that you need on your table, and yet at the same time give you the opportunity to reach your job? So we have in our region, we do have like the Metro Red Line, Metro Green Line, Metro Blue Line, we have Metrolink itself. So we do have systems that are transporting people to their jobs, but we have to also be looking at the transportation of goods. And all of us say there's too much traffic, but the traffic is because we have needs too.
Obviously, you've got to move a lot of people, a lot of services as well, and I think maybe people sometimes don't realize how intertwined those two things are.
That's correct.
Yeah. Well, I thank you very much for your time. We have been visiting with MTA Director and Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Pico Rivera, Beatrice Pro. And if you'd like to reach Ms. Pro, you can call her at the City of Pico Rivera, and the number there is 562-801-4371.
A big organization like the MTA needs equipment, supplies, and services, and maybe you or your business could be just the ticket. MTA's purchasing and contracts departments keep a database of vendors interested in doing business with the authority. To be added, you'll need to jot down your company name, address, phone number, contact name, email address, and a couple of sentences describing the product or service your firm provides. Then fax that information to the number on your screen. And to find out more about doing business with the MTA, just log on to mta.net. Well, that's it for this edition of our show. For Mark Istuk and all of us at Metro Motion, I'm Keena Chin. Thanks so much for watching.